Hey, what's up, Exit the Matrix family? Bob here. Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for joining me on this morning talk. Guys, we'll get back to the video game theory talks. We got probably another episode or two left to do of that to kind of round that all out. But I kind of wanted to shift today just to talk about a different subject. And something that I'm going through, and I think a lot of people are going through. And that's, it goes by different names, but I guess the New Age would call it the dark night of the soul, right? Or shadow work. And oftentimes it's misunderstood. But it's something a lot of people go through, and it's something I've been dealing with here lately. I had, coming out of December, so much in my life was just going so right. That everything looked, the future looked bright. Things were doing great. All my social media stuff was just exploding. I had one of my largest payouts ever from Facebook for my Exit the Matrix page, which I still have not gotten back. And things were doing great, Had some podcasts set up, and just things were going pretty good at work and family and everything. And then all of a sudden January hit. And things took a drastic turn. My page was stolen. My family started, which it caused a ripple effect. It was like losing that income was huge, because we'd come to rely on that as not just a supplemental income, but it was actually covering some of our bills and stuff, and making ends meet. And then all of a sudden we started having car repairs or car issues and issues at the house. And it was just like, it's just like one thing after another. Just everything that seems it could go wrong started going wrong. And it's just that when, that old saying, right? When it rains, it pours. And look, I get it, folks. I get that we can also help manifest these things, but I think that's what a lot of times happens with this dark night of the soul. It's like the universe is trying to wake you up and get you to see things, and sometimes it has to kind of hit you over the head, right? And it seems like when things start going like that, it's just everything starts just snowballing. And we've been going through this as a family for the last 4 months. I mean, even my son, man, he was in track. He's a superstar, and he was doing so great. He'd only started track a year ago, and a week before state, he qualified for, and he was looking to make the top 3 to go to, regionals. He was looking to make the top 3 to go to state. And he pulled his hamstring, literally a week before. And he still tried to go, but, he wasn't able to finish his competition because it was just, it wasn't just a tweak, it was an actual pull. So, it's like everybody, it's like we've been just dealing with this. And there's been some good stuff. Look, folks, I'm not saying it's all negative, but then we had family issues too. And for those of you that remember, I don't know what happened here in North Carolina. We had a pretty cold winter, and it typically isn't pretty mild winters actually here in the Smoky Mountains. But it's like they tripled our energy costs at the same time of having one of our colder winters we've had. And I remember I had an energy bill in December, or coming out of December in January. This was right as I lost Exit the Matrix too. And it was almost $700, my energy bill. And folks, you got to realize, I only have 1,000 square foot house. It's not very big. It's got an unfinished basement. I mean, if we finish the basement, it'd double the square footage, but livable square footage, yeah, 1,000 square feet. And that's insane, man. And I know I'm not the only one. Everybody was getting hammered with this crazy jumps in their energy costs. And it's just like everything, folks. It's just car repairs, everything. And look, I'm not trying to play like poor me or anything. I'm just being honest with you guys. Look, what I'm trying to get at is I feel you guys. And I know a lot of you guys are going through this. And sometimes the dark night of the soul, it's not just about, you know, external things, you know, financial and you know, things like that, you know, car repairs. And sometimes it's worse. I mean, the good thing I got to say is my family, we're healthy. Yes, my son pulled his hamstring, but he'll be better. You know, he'll be ready for next track season. You know, he's got the summer to recoup and to train and get ready for, you know, track again in beginning of next school year. He's not doing soccer this year. He's decided track's the way to go to get into college and stuff. And that's what he'd like, you know. But I know a lot of you guys are dealing with like really bad health things or family members with health things. I know maybe people passed away, right? Look, I know people are dealing with a lot worse than me too. People that have had to go through bankruptcies and such, you know, and lost their businesses and their home. And like, there's so much going on right now, folks. Like and I get it. Like, we're going through a funnel right now, right? Like, this country's going through a dark night of its own soul. And you got to go through those, you know, through those tribulations. You got to go through those birth pangs, right, before a new era is birthed. And I do believe America is actually going to be going into a golden age. I think there's a lot being put in place right now that things will change, but it's going to get very turbulent before we get through that, the eye of the needle, so to speak. And I feel like my own personal life is kind of going through the same thing. And I just appreciate you guys, those of you that have been with me. There's been a few of you that have just been such a blessing to my family and I. Some of you that are have a little, you know, more better financial means right now, and you've been setting up Zooms with me. You guys don't know how much that income has helped my family. It's been an absolute blessing, and I really appreciate it. And you know, originally the Zooms I did was to because I needed to try to put aside money, because I'm gonna, you know, I still have plans to, but I want to build a studio in my basement, you know. And at the time I was able to get a lot more views on YouTube and all that, because I was able to funnel people from my Facebook to my videos. Well, now that that's dried up, I don't get any traction on YouTube hardly. And only a core group of you guys that have been with me for a while, or that recently found me, but you've been regular listeners and supporters, and I appreciate you guys so much. You know, the messages, the teachings I do, what we talk about, this is stuff that, you know, 99% of humanity isn't even aware of, doesn't care about, or couldn't handle. And so you guys are like the true ones. You guys are like the ones that are definitely looking outside the box, outside the matrix, you know, and seeing through the illusion and all that. And you guys are fantastic. But yeah, it's been tough, guys. And like I said, very much thanks to those that have been doing these Zooms with me. And you guys have been just fantastic. You don't realize how much you've done for my family and I. And that extra income's filled in a little bit of the gaps. I've got things in the works to kind of dig out and stuff, but you know, we've all been there, right? We've lost there. All of us have gone through times where you lose everything and you have to rebuild. And I feel like we're coming to that point, but I feel like coming out of that, we're going to be a lot stronger. But sometimes it's hard, folks, to let go of things. And to realize that you just, no matter how hard you physically try, you know, and no matter how hard you try to manifest and you try to, you know, work things in your favor, sometimes the universe has to teach you a lesson, and makes you look deep in your soul, and you have to look at things that you've done, and maybe the way I'm manifesting, maybe I'm letting things creep into my manifestation that's poisoning the well, so to speak. Anyways, I really do appreciate you guys. I just want you to know, and I pray, and I send out positive thoughts to all of you that are going through similar things, and you know, very, you know, thankful for those that have the means and that enjoy doing the Zooms with me, and that have been, you know, shooting me some money here and there, you know, donating next at the Matrix, and essentially you've been really helping my family, which is more important than the page or the channel or anything else. But I appreciate that. It's been amazing. And it's made me realize, too, I got to work harder and I got to do other things. You know, sometimes complacency, you know, it gets you into tough spots, folks. And the energy always needs a payment of energy. The universe always needs a payment of energy. And in many ways, I give a lot. But there's some things that, you know, I get lazy on, just like everybody does, or complacent. And I realized I got to just go into 24/7 grind mode right now. And I'm in a job that I can't really make any more money. It's like a set salary job. You know, there's a little bit of wiggle room, but, you know, it is what it is, folks. My family and I, we'd already paid for this months ago, and thank God. But we already have like an Airbnb booked out. We're going to be staying at Amelia Island here in a week. We're going on vacation. This may be our last vacation we take with my son before he goes to college here in a little over a year. And so we don't want to pull out of this, even though it's probably better that we do, but we've already paid for everything. So and we're driving, we're not flying. It's about a half a day drive from our house. But it's a beautiful spot right over the border in Florida, right over the Georgia border. And we've been there before. We're staying at, it's like a little Airbnb. It was a cheap one. We're going during the week to save money. We are, like I said, we prepaid for this months ago, or actually half a year. Like, this was before I lost Exit the Matrix. And thank God we booked it so long ago and we put the money down. But this is kind of our, we got to come out of this with some hard decisions to make as a family. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So for those of you that are going through, financial things, health things, family things, mental things, spirit things, I wish you the best. I feel for you. Stay strong. Look, sometimes it happens because it's trying to tell you something, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, source. Sometimes your own intuition, your own spirit, your higher self, maybe your spirit guides, guardian angels, I don't know, whatever you believe or whatever, however you see it, or whatever there truly is on the other side that's behind the scenes. Just understand, sometimes you got to go through these tough times, right, to reinvent yourself and to come up with new ideas and ways to survive and do things, and that's kind of where I'm at. So I do appreciate you guys, those that are able to do Zooms with me, and you don't understand how much that helps me. And wow, it's like I said, such a blessing. There's a few of you that have just been amazing talks and everything, and that money has really helped, and I appreciate that. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, or you're not used to you're not always on my videos, I do these personal Zooms, and I was doing these way back before I lost Exit the Matrix too. So this is a regular thing I've been doing for a while, but I offer one-on-one Zooms. We could talk about whatever you like. A lot of people I find that are very intelligent, that think outside the box, find that there's no audience. There's nobody they can talk to and share their ideas with, because most of your family members, your coworkers, and everything else, they operate like NPCs, right? They have cognitive dissonance. They don't want to hear anything that is outside of their programming. They become the Mr. Smiths of the system once you start, talking to them about things that makes them uncomfortable. And then they will deride you, attack you, go behind your back, undercut you, try to shut you up, censor you, whatever they can. They turn into a protector of the system, so to speak. And so a lot of times these Zooms, it gives people an outlet. And then I learn from these Zooms. A lot of times I'm not really teaching anybody or anything. I'm just, I'm the one being taught, and I'm giving somebody an outlet. And a lot of times I can incorporate some of those teachings from you into my talks and stuff. So it's a really awesome two-way interactive thing. You get a copy of the Zoom, and then I had an inspiration actually on one of my Zoom. Before my Zoom, but one of my Zoom people, a regular that's been a great blessing to me and my family. This guy's just a fantastic person, is super intelligent. In fact, I plan on doing an interview with this person. His specialty's been delving into like non-duality and stuff, and he's been teaching me awesome things. But I ran this idea by him, and he said he felt it in his spirit that it was a positive thing, and that was, as you guys know, I like to go gem hunting in my free time, which I'm going to have to probably start cutting down on that, because I really got to start working on some other things to generate income and stuff. But I have tons of stockpiles of these rare purple rhodolite garnets that are only found in a few places on Earth, and one of them happens to be in western North Carolina where I live. And I found a secret spot that is just rich in them. And so when you book a Zoom with me, what I will now do is send you a gift of these rhodolite garnets. Some smaller gemmy ones, and then maybe some bigger, rougher ones. But a mix of sizes. Just as a token of my appreciation, along with the copy of that Zoom you get. So, you get my time, you get the copy of the Zoom, and you can post that on your own channels or pages, whatever you want. I personally won't post our Zooms unless you want me explicitly to. Because some of these would be fantastic to post, honestly. But I get it. Sometimes people want that privacy, and I'm cool with that. And that's why I don't do it unless somebody explicitly said, you can post this on your channel, and I'm fine with that. So anyways, just understand that, but you can get your own copy and do what you want with it. But, my time for your donation, which, like I said, right now is helping my family out very much. And you get a copy of the Zoom, and you get a gift of rhodolite garnets sent to you personally. So I've a couple of you that I've told I'm going to be sending those garnets out. I have not sent those out yet. I'm going to be doing that early this week. I was planning on doing it today, but we were out of town all weekend. Running around, we had some stuff we had to do, but I've got everything in place. I've got the padded mailers, I've got the bags to keep them tight in there so they're not moving around. I've got my scales, because I'm going to be trying to measure out a fair amount, for each person. And look, the longer Zooms you book with me, the more I'm going to gift you, and that's fair, right? I mean, energy for energy, right? So I'm getting those all ready. And they're going to be the first, the regular Zoom people that have been doing them. You're going to be getting these coming your way here. So when you do set up a Zoom with me, it's through my PayPal. Just make sure if you want the rhodolite garnets and all that, make sure you put your address in there on the PayPal. That way I've got that, and that way I can shoot those out to you. And just a very heartfelt thank you to you guys. And it is what it is, folks. Like, look, we're all a community, right? And trust me, I would rather be the one helping others, but sometimes you got to help yourself too, and sometimes you got to be willing to accept help. See, a lot of us, we get too prideful, and I've been that way. I'm a very humble person to sometimes the point where I have trouble accepting help and gifts from people, and this has kind of humbled me a little bit, and I've had to realize that, like, look, man, sometimes you just, sometimes it's okay if somebody wants to help and they have the means, and it's almost a slap in their face when you deny that, right? So accept help when people offer it, and when people give you compliments, accept that graciously. Don't be so humble to the point where you can't accept that. A lot of us get that way. We want to act like we're bigger and stronger and better than than maybe we are, and maybe we got work to do and we don't realize it. Sometimes to be humbled helps you see your own cracks, and it helps you delve into your own soul, and see things that maybe you're doing that's manifesting things wrong, or maybe there's cause and effect things that you're doing in the world, right, that are bringing negativity or things down on you that's causing your issues to get worse. So anyways, folks, like I said, I don't want this to be a pity party. I'm just laying it out there, folks. Look, you guys know me. I always speak to you guys from the heart. I'm not afraid to show my emotions with you guys, whether I'm, getting teared up. Some of you have seen videos where I've teared up and I, got a little emotional. And some of you have seen videos where, I've gotten angry and all that. But I got to tell you guys that, like, look, I always give you guys my raw emotions, okay? And I've always give you guys my true thoughts, and I'm always straight up with you guys. So you guys always know you get it 100% real from me. But I just want you guys to know I do appreciate you guys. Like, look, I'm not hawking products and stuff on here. My only product is my voice, my thoughts, my ideas, my theories that I share with you guys. And then these Zooms that I offer, but that's an energy exchange, So if any of you are interested in that, the easiest way typically to get a hold of me is if you go in my descriptions, you'll find a link to my new Facebook page, Exit the Matrix Reborn. Yes, I know it's fledgling. I've had to start over there, and it's like nobody's came and looked for me. It's insane. 200,000 followers on my other page, and it's just like I'm a blip now, gone, right? But if you go join me there, you can hit me up on Messenger. That's typically the best way to get a hold of me. But if you need to, you can hit me up in my messages. I always check my YouTube messages. The only problem is sometimes I notice they hide comments, and I don't get notifications of the comments they hide. And I don't know why they do that. I always put all comments like visible, but yet they'll still auto hide comments, so I won't see some. So a lot of times if you just go message me over there on Facebook on Exit the Matrix Reborn is the most direct way to get a hold. Then we can have that private conversation. I can shoot you my PayPal and all that kind of stuff, and you can set up whatever, however many. Look, most of these that get set up, it ends up being 2 hours or more. That's how fantastic the talks are. And anybody that's done Zooms with me, folks, you could ask them personally, and they'll tell you they love doing it. It's great where you can actually just talk about anything for an hour, 2 hours, or more than 2 hours. And they always rebook because, people don't have people they can talk to or share their ideas with that think on a higher level. And being able to have a very intelligent, spiritual, enlightening conversation with somebody is refreshing, So anyways, guys, hang in there. I get it. A lot of us are going through this, okay? The nation right now as a whole is going through this. And they're trying to destroy us, the middle class, everything, with this just nonstop inflation, this monetary system that's usury, that's a form of debt slavery. All of our systems have been used against us. The money that they lend you on credit cards, on loans, it's money that these banks don't even hold. It's imaginary money, okay? Fractional reserve banking. They're lending you money that they don't even have, and then they're charging you ridiculous amounts of interest on top of that. I mean, it's all a scam, folks. The whole monetary system's a scam. Everything's a scam. But unfortunately, if you want to buy a house, unless you can, I always people, well, pay cash for it. Oh yeah, that's right. People can just pull $400,000 of cash to buy a house, right? I mean, I always love the baby boomers. That's their answer for everything. And look, I'm not talking. Look, some of your baby boomers, and I'm not saying all baby boomers are the same, okay? But let's be real. Some baby boomers, that's their go-to comment, right? Just pay cash for it. Yeah, yeah. Your car loan, the usury. By the time you pay your car off, you paid 3 times the amount. By the time you pay your mortgage off, you paid 3 times the amount. Yeah, that's usury, folks. I mean, but these baby boomers, if you don't like that, then just pay cash. Pay your bills. you know, because it's like a demonic usury system to begin with, and they're literally lending you nothing and stealing all your wealth, intellect, and creativity, and time, and energy. But hey, it is what it is, folks, right? So, hey, guys, I just want you guys to know I really appreciate you guys. Those of you that have been doing these Zooms with me, you don't understand, like, seriously, how thankful I am, and how much you've helped my family, and how much I really appreciate you guys. And I love those talks. Above all else, man, I love the talks. And I hope when you get those garnets, man, that you guys will treasure those. They're very powerful, tied to the heart and the crown chakra. They're a very special type of gem, and these are ones that I'm personally collecting, that I spend my time hiking and searching for these. I collect them in the raw, and I do it in a sustainable way with nature. Anything that I collect in nature, I make sure I put things back the way they were, gravel, sand, rocks, that kind of stuff, right? So I try to leave everything the way it was. So I try to be very gentle. I'm not going through there, with shovels digging creeks up, and I'm not going and using riffle machines, stuff like that, dredging, all this. No, folks, look, I just go hand collect. That's it. So these are hand collected, environmentally sustainable and friendly practices I use. And you'll find them very beautiful. And the bigger ones are going to be raw. They're going to look a little ugly, but I guarantee you in the heart of those rocks is some beautiful gems. And there's some different ways you can get to those, and maybe I'll leave that up to you guys to learn how to do that. But so anyways, guys, hey, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and I will talk to you later.